Alright, so it's a pandemic fan video. This is a fan we got a long time ago. Pretty wild. This is a Westinghouse from the mid-50s or late 50s. It's got a real heavy plastic handle. This is a 2-speed reversible fan. Pretty awesome. The grill is amazing. The way they designed these just look awesome. I mean, you know, it's a machine to do a job, but it sure as heck looks cool. So I had taken this apart only to the motor. I got the blades off. But it needs wiring. The motor is a little scary. It's mounted in this big crazy mount. Not really sure what, you know, the amount of work that this would need. I haven't done a lot of wiring on motors, fans, you know. I did the Robbins & Myers table fan, the 16-inch. I got that one. The little guy over here, the little box fan, I had to rewire that almost all the way up to the motor. So the problem with this has got a speed coil, I believe, and then this is the reversible control as a part of the switch. And the wire that goes to the speed coil is very, very brittle, and it actually made that crack sound, you know, so I think it's been cracked a little bit. That I did that. So that being said, you know, we should definitely rewire this. And what I want to do is I want to do a rat rod paint job on it. I'm going to sand it lightly with a scuff pad and some water, and then I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to spray it with some clear, a flat clear, as you would do with an old car with patina on it. So we're trying to save the patina on this. It's got a couple of decals on it. It's got, or stenciling, whatever this was, electrically reversible, and then there's your tag information, and it's a W for Westinghouse. I'm trying not to lose any of that in the process. So I guess I'm just going to take a chance and start pulling this apart and see if we can get the wiring done without making too much of a mess. I'm not an engineer, so I don't really know that much, and I've never found. I have a test meter, but it never seemed to work right, and I wouldn't know what values I was looking for anyway. I'm kind of an amateur doing this stuff. So anyway, so that's kind of the plan with this. I think it just looks so awesome, and it would be nice to get it to the point where we can use it kind of regularly. You know, the cord's okay. It's not, you know, it's not. The cord's still kind of pliable, and everything's okay up to here where it goes in. Who knows if this is original where it would have been spliced down there, or if that's not original. Who knows? But it probably is. I don't. Who knows, right? Who knows? One of the weird things is that the wires here for the coil are fastened, and the fastener goes through the handle because the handle is bolted in with a light little bolt. You know, big fear is, you know, breaking the plastic stuff when you try to take this apart, you know, and that's the big worry. It had some strange rubber grommet type deals that held the grill in, and the best I could do was use some large grommets and make a keeper. Let me show you what I'm talking about. But these are rubber, and they have a pretty small opening, and the idea was that it kind of held the grill in place. Now this grill is either bent or anything, but I don't know, but it definitely doesn't stay put in there. Side to side it's a little better. I'm not going to bend it right now. Maybe if we can get a better type of fastener for here. I was looking at trunk lid bumpers and hood bumpers, but the only things that I found that even looked close to this were for Porsches. And as you can imagine, being a vintage Porsche part, they were freaking expensive. So I'm not going to be buying those for this fan. So that's why I kind of made my own out of some giant rubber grommets. But as you can see, it's super loose. It's not going to hold that in there. I tried 2 grommets, but they just wouldn't hold. So, you know, this is where you get to the point with a project like this where you're making parts, you know. Also, we're in the middle of the pandemic, so I don't exactly want to go to Home Depot just to buy flat, clear paint. I might have to do that. Anyway, so it may be an unnecessary risk. But let's go give this a run anyway. We'll see how it runs as is, because it does run, and it's a cool fan. Knob towards us, and that should turn the fan this way to push the air towards us, which is actually reverse on this fan. it is. I don't like the grill moving like that. Yeah, I put oil in it. I did not take the motor apart again because this will be low. Again, because the motor's in. I'll turn it around. I'll show you. Nice, you know, quiet, you know, moves a ton of air. These Westinghouse fans are very interesting. All of them. The mobile air ones, they're all very interesting. So that's reverse, technically, because we're looking at the fan backwards. For their design, the motor is the front, which is strange. So now we'll go to reverse, and it's going to turn the other way. Yeah, a little noise in there. Don't like that sound, but once it gets going, it's better. She is. Let's see. Now I get pretty close to it. It's not blowing air in our face here. And that's high, I guess? No, that's low. And that's high. The opposite of the positions in the other direction. Strange, huh? See, it's blowing air at you. The other side there. We'll go to our off position. The switch is nice. The switch works properly. Doesn't have any slop or weird stiffness or anything like that. Spin count's pretty good. I'd imagine the rotor's pretty heavy. The blades themselves are pretty heavy. And there she is, your Westinghouse 2-speed reversible from the late 50s. 58 or something, people have said. I don't really know. But it's definitely the earliest, I guess the earliest version of this box fan. And then there are other versions going into the 60s of this, and then they discontinued it, I guess. So anyway, you know, she's a cool, cool deal. And when I took the blades off, what I found was the motor housing seems to be aluminum, and the paint just falling off. I mean, it's really wild. So, you know, that's why I didn't do much. Let me turn it around, I'll show you. Humongous motor, massive. It's got oil ports, and as you can see, the aluminum, you know, the paint all came off as soon as I started cleaning, at which point I immediately stopped. And then just like on the grills, where the motor is mounted onto the wings here, or these arms that it's connected to, we've got messed up rubber shock absorber, you know, type deals. And, you know, you'd have to make that stuff. So all this stuff is, these are just a few of the reasons I did not take this fan apart. Here's another reason. We've got a large cloth covered wiring harness that I would probably not be able to duplicate. And again, I'm not an expert on anything, so I would have to be really careful when taking it all apart to keep track of where everything went so that I can get it back together correctly. Yeah, lots of rust in it. But again, you know, a thing to do might be to do a patina job on it, you know, sand it down, not sand, but scuff pad it down and then hit it with some clear paint. I don't know. So I don't really know what's going to happen. You know, I didn't have, the backside had clips, not fastened, not the rubber things. The backside had these metal clips, of which I have 2. And then the previous owners, they lost the other 2, and they had used zip ties to hold it all on, which, you know, that's what we're going to end up doing when we put it back together ourselves, I guess. So anyway, that's the deal with the old Westinghouse. We will go ahead and maybe get started on this project. I'm not sure. So that's kind of the deal. I just thought you'd want to see it. I figured I'd take it out and put it out here. Maybe if I have it out here on this table for a little while, then I'll get motivated to do some stuff to her. The old Westinghouse 2-speed reversible box fan. Pretty heavy, pretty impressive, pretty awesome fan. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll check yous all later.